Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Miska.
And welcome to HitScan. We actually have quite a lot of information that's come out throughout the week, but we wanted to make a video today as we got a really exciting teaser, more so when you realize what it is for.
Oh boy, yeah, it's another one of those decode the tweet type teasers. We did actually get one for Icebox. Now, I don't think we're getting another map already, but if you haven't seen it, here it is. And well, to some of you, this might be obvious what it is already, but we're gonna give you a few seconds to guess in the comments, so type away. Whilst you're down there, make sure to leave a like and drop a sub if you haven't, and hit that bell because, well, there's a lot of people that haven't done that. So if you wanna, do that, support the channel, that'd be great. All right, hopefully you got your guess in. So unless it wasn't obvious to, well, maybe people that haven't played since beta, but this most definitely is the Reaver collection returning. Not only because we've got this reticle here that actually lines up perfectly with the look of the Reaver reticle that we've seen in the beta and previously in screenshots and stuff, but also because all of this text translates to various versions of I'm coming back, or I return, or just return, I'm back, that sort of thing. So yeah, either way, if you knew any of the languages or if you spotted the reticle, it was probably quite easy. And I mean, I'm excited. This is something that people have been asking for a long time. And well, we know what we're getting with the Reaver collection, but there could be some changes and improvements, especially when I'm thinking about like variants and other things like that. And obviously now when you can get any variant you want at the end, you don't have to go through all of them. Might be looking a little bit different.
Yeah, it felt like it was just more of it became bigger. It became a bigger meme as time went on. As just more
Yeah.
people were excited to see it come back. So I guess there was a little bit of pressure on Riot's shoulders to spice it up a little bit, change it. I mean, it seems the reticle's going to be the same, but you would imagine that there's going to be more in store for this gun at least. So if you were one of these people, and I know they exist, that has been saving their money for when the Reaver collection comes back, you don't need to wait for much longer. I imagine this will be going in with the patch with Sky, which is on Tuesday. So quite a lot of stuff is going to hit in that patch as well. Potentially some balance changes too, right? So hopefully we'll have more information on that coming up soon. But there is more loot that is coming into the game. Certainly if you are part of Prime Gaming on Twitch and Amazon, you'll be able to get this if you haven't seen it. And it's just another bit of cosmetic that actually shows that Riot do really read the room with a lot of this stuff. Of course, it's a press F to pay respects, and it's pretty good considering you pretty much get it for free if you have Amazon Prime.
That beam has stuck around for a long time. It's not going anywhere. I love that. But yeah, anyway, really good gun buddy. And if you're wondering how you actually sign up for Twitch, well, sorry, not Twitch, Prime Gaming, then you can check out, hopefully if we remember to a link in the description to the blog post that actually shows you how. But all in all, if you just Google Prime Gaming and go to their website, you can just log in with your Twitch account and stuff. It's pretty straightforward, really. All right, moving on from that though, we have some other cosmetic related things, but not a new cosmetic really to show you. But there was a new sort of editorial piece uploaded to the VALORANT website, which included some interesting things regarding the Battle Pass creation, but right at the end, we also had this teaser. So right towards the end of the entire article, there's this massive image, and right above it, it says Episode 2 Teases. Oh, you made it this far. How do we put this nicely? And then they added that spray, which is sort of that out of time countdown spray. Now, the way that they used that spray or talked about that spray in the Battle Pass when we talked to Pretty and Sean for that Battle Pass video, which was not even the latest one, was actually about the bomb timer and that running out and, you being out of time and blowing up. So I'm not quite sure exactly what they're hinting at there, but, theories around that, go for it. Put them in the comments as well if you want to, or tweet us your favorite VALORANT tinfoil hat conspiracy theories around the next Battle Pass, because this is Episode 2 Teases in relation to the Battle Pass. I don't think it's specifically to just Episode 2 as a whole, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
There'd be a lot of stuff coming to it. There might be another animation coming in, like another shot almost, because it's the start of a new episode. We know that Icebox is the new map, so maybe it's going to be set on there with the Mori Samurai agent, potentially. We did a video talking about who that could be, which we'll try and link in the top right. So yeah, there's a lot of teases, a lot of stuff coming up at the moment. I mean, we literally just started this act, so I think I could wait until 2021 to see this stuff. Yeah, I think I'm okay to sort of wait for now because we've got so much to delve into. And I think one of those, actually, when it comes to other stuff that we may be waiting for, comes in the sign of a PBE, or for Overwatch people like us, a PTR. It seems like it is going to be something that Valorant want to have set up. They were asked in the Ask Valorant if this had be coming. They said, yes, we will be creating a selectively updated pre-release environment, or PBE, sometime in the first half of 2021. So it might not be around for the first episode of 2021 at least, but a couple of acts after that at least. I was talking about this with somebody before. I don't know if we need one. Sure, there's been a lot of bugs and micro stuttering sucks and stuff, but when you look at stuff like Overwatch and other games that have a public test realm, a lot of the time it just doesn't really get used, so the point of setting it up can often be missed. Obviously, if it's a new map or agent, it's going to get a lot of people in, but if it's just a couple of balance changes maybe, I don't expect it to get used an awful lot.
I think it's important to keep in mind here. First off, if you don't know what a PBE or public test realm is, it's basically the next patch goes live early on that build. Maybe not with all the content, in Valorant's case probably not with all the, cosmetics and those types of changes, but to test balance changes, to see how players play with a character that's just been reworked or tweaked a bunch, right? That sort of thing. Or if they need to do much wider bug testing on something and they want to, upload that and let the community sort of help them test those things, then it's a good sort of version of the game to do that on. And yeah, like you said, Ryan, like it's a good idea from the start. It's good to test things out. It's nice to know that it'll probably result in fewer bugs in the actual live build. However, yeah, in Overwatch, I think the PTR famously did not get used that much. In League, the PBE is just not something that Ryan and I are as familiar with. But hopefully for something like Valorant, which bit of Overwatch and Counter-Strike, bit of Riot games and League, we can find like a good middle ground between having it be just a preview for the next patch and actually having it be useful for the developers and testing actually happening. So hopefully we get some good stuff out of that.
I think another thing that was really interesting in Ask Valorant, it was a short one, but I think all of the questions hinted on stuff. They spoke about Smurfs and said they're still like looking into it, but generally similar to Overwatch, if somebody really outperforms and literally does not belong in the rank that they've been placed in, the system's very good at just pushing them up the ladder, because it knows that these players are much better than the average gold player. They're actually a Radiant player and they just keep bumping them up. But also weekly challenges. This is a common complaint, even one that I've had with the weekly challenge of using 50 ultimates. Oftentimes you are just kind of like trying to exploit Spike Rush a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And it's not really a fun spending of time. But they said that they're not happy with the system. In Act 3, they're generally going to be removing some of the completion requirements that have awful weeklies. Probably they're using 50 ultimates and stuff like that.
The worst offenders, yeah.
Yeah, as they put it. These changes, along with the extending length of Act 3, should mean that people progress further and faster into the Battle Pass, which I'm happy about because I think this is the best Battle Pass that we've had so far. I didn't finish Act 2 because I wasn't really too excited to have the set of skins on the guns, if that makes sense. Like, I had the Phantoms and the Vandals, I was pretty happy with it, but I really want the Ruin and the Serenity skins in this. But long term, they say that they want to revisit how they keep game-to-game progression engaging. It's still early, but we have a design that seems promising for further exploration. And I think that if they nail down a good weekly or daily system, that's going to help a lot with the long term of the game, because I can see weekly challenges just putting people off playing.
Honestly, I love how we're progressing with Valorant in terms of bringing the changes that the community wants and really making the game that the community wants to play, and improving all of this stuff and making the game more fun and getting to those community complaints. They're doing it, and they're doing it pretty fast.
In regards to other smaller things that are coming through, you have the leaderboards that have been teased, a potential thing coming into the future of ranked, but they've actually come out a little bit early, showing what the ranked leaderboards look like at the end of acts. And I just love the fact that for NA, Tens is on top. Like, he is just that Valorant guy at this point, so he must be feeling pretty good about him. And I've already seen a lot of these Radiant players, the pro players that are kind of like, we got Radiant, now what, there's no point. Immediately be like, okay, we're going for top 1 now. Now that they know that there's that carrot on the stick, even the pro players that have reached the goals that they want, and rank doesn't really matter too much to them, of course, there's still that incentive to keep playing and keep improving in that aspect, which I actually think is a much bigger problem than people give it credit for. because it's the same with like Overwatch. Like, oh, I'm top 500.
No, I totally
that account's
agree.
going to stay there. I'm going to make a Smurf. And then that becomes an even bigger problem for the community.
Well, as well, something that I think that Overwatch didn't really think about early on, and a lot of games don't think about early on, is when you have this top 100 in this case. So this is just Twitter top 100 announcement, basically, to hype people for what the leaderboards will bring, which I believe will be all the way to top 500, actually, as we've seen in the competitive features trailer, sort of talking about things that are coming in episode 2 and onwards, I believe, is how they kind of labeled it. So we'll see this actually in game next year, January most likely, but leaderboards for now really helps maintain the competitive incentive for the people that are at the top, and a lot of the time those are the people streaming and keeping the players that are not, you know, chasing for the top 100 ranks engaged with the game, because they see this person playing like 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day chasing this spot, and you get hyped to play ranked, and it really helps keep the community engaged in that type of play as well, and look at ranked as like an overall journey of improving rather than just, you know, this horrible grind. So it really does give more purpose to everything and helps a lot, and I think it's a really interesting thing to see them push this early, because recognizing that early on I think is super key for the longevity of Valorant as a whole.
Definitely. You know, we should be expecting more with, you know, the Reaver skins. You've got Sky coming into the game, Icebox going into competitive, and this is a really interesting thing that I wanted to touch on, because the rules for First Strike came out. If you don't know what First Strike is, it's basically the first major tournament series that's coming out across the world. You know, there's a big tournament in NA, there's a big tournament in EU. All of these major regions will have effectively like 100k on the line to try and win. So every team is wanting to play towards it. It's a good hint on what potentially a Valorant League could look like if Riot want to go in that direction. There's a lot of stuff that I want to, if you're interested in the esports scene, there's a lot of stuff I want to share right at the end of this video. But of course, the main question is, when does Sky and Icebox come in? Because they will be hitting the tournament start next week, and we're getting Sky next week. So does that mean that she'll be playable then? The long short of it is kind of, it's a bit awkward in some cases, certainly when you look at the timing, and even a tweet came out saying that a lot of people have been asking for this. New agents will be available after 2 weeks in ranked queue, and new maps 4 weeks in ranked queue. This means, barring any major issues, our new agent Sky will be eligible to use on November 9th. Important thing to note there. And Icebox will enter the official tournament rotation on November the 24th. The main thing I wanted to highlight is, from what they're saying, 2 weeks after Sky hits the rank queue, that means that Sky's hitting the ranked queue on Tuesday. There's no week or 2 week gap between a new agent being added in and her playable in rank, the same as Icebox, the map. They are just throwing us straight in there, which I don't know how I feel about it. I'm curious to know what you guys think. But it's kind of interesting that we'll be getting a new agent before the new map, even though we got the new agent much later than Icebox. Like I said before, the First Strike qualifiers for North America start next week. They will be on twitch.tv/NerdStreetGamers. It's in the description. And if you want to follow the scene but you don't know anything about T1, Envy, Sentinels, I do want to recommend Platchat that do a lot of the Overwatch League content, because it is Sideshow, Bren, Mr. X, Reinforced, those people.
Classic
They've been
crew.
doing a lot more Valorant. Yeah, the classic crew. They've been doing a lot of Valorant content, and they've been doing something that Monte Cristo did for Overwatch League, where it's like team primers. Like, if you don't know anything about the players, they will go through their history, what to expect of them. And even as somebody that has been following the esports scene since its inception, I've learned a lot about what to expect from teams like FaZe Clan, which had a lot of Overwatch League pros move over to play Valorant in a team together, right? So if you are interested in more, it's all in the description. But I did want to just sort of shout that out for those that are interested.
All right, that was quite a lot of different types of news for, you know, esports, patches, content, more things coming up, cosmetics, and all sorts of stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and again, don't forget to subscribe for more Valorant content. We're gonna have some stuff over the weekend and for next week around the patch. It's gonna be really exciting, so don't miss that. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.